I think that there is a connection between the UFO and near-death phenomena, and it resides within consciousness. That consciousness transcends into that source reality where I was. And I think that some of these UAP, and this isn't speaking, you had mentioned I was with MUFON. MUFON doesn't take a stance on this, but Mindy Tautfest does. So I have to give that little disclaimer there. But I believe that these UAP are coming from a race that has maintained that conscious connection with the source. And so they are presenting interdimensionally and physically. They're able to travel those great distances, but they're also able to manipulate our reality. And through different code insertions, they're able to pop in and pop out of our reality. They're able to stand at someone's, the foot of someone's bed and then
Code
take them to a.
insertions. I'm sorry, I have to stop you because you're giving us so much. Code insertions. Please explain when you say code insertions that they may be using that to come and go in our reality. What are
Like,
code insertions?
I'm not smart enough to even begin. Maybe
You have an
Billy
idea.
Carson could tell us more, but somehow they have technology well beyond. And I believe we were created here as a race with minimal consciousness connection to that source. We have memory of it. We have a longing for it. It's built into us. But I think that they've maintained much more intelligence about that source. And so they're able to, whether it's technologically or consciously, manipulate some of the energy fields here to be able to pop into our reality. One of the things Billy Carson talks about is Thoth being able to transfer his consciousness between the different avatars.
Mhm.
And I absolutely believe that they've maintained that ability, much like I was inserted back into my avatar. And it caught my attention because here he used that same language of, inserting into the avatars. So they could absolutely build some kind of an entity, which we've heard that the Greys are a biological created drone almost.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so it makes sense that they could create some kind of biological entity and control it via consciousness or remotely, like much like we do with our drones.
I'm fascinated with the weaving in or the inference of numbers playing a role, coding of numbers, UAP, UFO encounters, broadly speaking, how people are seeing coded numbers. Well, we could call them coded numbers, whether they're repeating numbers, number patterns, frequently now more than ever. I have to have you speak on this. And guys, we're not just talking about 1111. Now, obviously, I've actually incorporated some of what I feel 11 may represent in a lecture or two of mine, but I'm just intrigued by there's something deeper going on, and could it be connected to what you're touching on here? Living in a simulated reality and these advanced entities understanding that connection, having maintained that consciousness connection, are able to utilize the reconfiguration of numbers to come in and out. But in the process, more and more normal people on terra firma, as I always say, are starting to glimpse these numbers. Could there be a connection with why so many people are seeing these repeating numbers right now?
Well, I mean, uh, what better way than to quite literally put numbers in front of you? um, it makes you think of like the double slit experiment and the observer effect,
Yeah.
where, and I go into this in my book. This is some of what the US government was doing back in '83 with analysis and assessment of the gateway process, where they were trying to send psychic spies literally over into the absolute to make contact with entities there and gather information. And I'm sure that's probably still ongoing, but we know that the government was even looking into the connections between that other side and our physical reality. So I think that using numbers quite literally for us to be able to observe, you have the observer there, and from that other side to be able to send information um, to experiencers via actual numbers to guide them on paths. That's a quite literal, easy way of communication.
Mhm.
I know
Mhm.
that we have consciousness-based communication, telepathy. People get downloads. I think that this is a very easy way to send information on a wide scale.
If you enjoyed this clip and would like to dive into the full episode, then simply click the link below.